All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our next stream, next space for LiveArt, talking about art, culture, and Web3. For those of you who are not familiar with LiveArt, we're a Web3 platform for art. We bring the world's most established contemporary artists to Web3. We do RWA sales. We work with art in all different shapes and forms to bring to blockchain and to Web3 audiences. And that makes me very happy today because we're speaking actually about the intersection of art and blockchain. And, it's been a recurrent important topic for us for a few years right now. But I think right now we're again at a point where it becomes a very important collaboration and important intersection. So I'm super excited to have here with me today James, who will speak about Polkadot and his projects in the space, and also Dennis, who is going to be speaking about the same, and also about different diverse art and tech projects that are coming to the space. Just so that just one brief note before we start, LiveArt is releasing a very exciting drop tomorrow. It's an AI works by Mark Quinn. Mark Quinn is one of the most important contemporary artists living today, and he has created this drop exclusively for LiveArt. It's visually stunning, really beautiful, and I can't wait for it to launch. So I invite all of you to explore some details about it on our website and on our apps. So now, without further ado, I would like you guys to introduce yourselves. Really, I think that would be great. I also wanted to ask you, I don't know, since we're a little bit in the holiday spirit, maybe you can tell one fun fact about your career in art and tech, if you have that. But in general, yeah, brief introductions would be amazing. And we can start. Whoever is ready, I don't know, James?
I can go, sure. So good morning, everybody. My name is James Slusser, and I have my own company, Curcuma, which you see in the background here. Curcuma I'm a Web3 software developer and instructor. I'm also a cryptocurrency trading coach, and I do some marketing and operations consulting, all under the Curcuma umbrella. However, for the purposes of this conversation today, I think it's more interesting to talk about my relationship with Polkadot. I am a senior ambassador with Polkadot. I'm also an alumni of the Polkadot Blockchain Academy, and I'm a Polkadot Technical Fellowship candidate. What all that means is I'm deep into the Polkadot ecosystem, and as an ambassador here in Florida, I am involved in promoting the Polkadot brand. I attend and speak at many of the crypto and blockchain events that happen around South Florida. And I am not an artist. I don't consider myself a creative person at all. I'm a patron of the arts and I appreciate it, but I don't feel like I have a creative bone in my body. The only analogy I would have is in my professional life, doing a lot of marketing. I think marketing is a blend of art and science. Similarly, kind of on a personal level, I enjoy cooking. I think cooking is kind of the same thing, but I don't think you'll ever catch me actually creating any art. That's it for me.
Thank you so much. Now, it's funny that you say you don't have a creative bone in your body. I feel like everybody is a little bit of an artist these days. It's so hard to resist to use the AI tools to create art. I don't know if you experimented with that. As soon as I start, getting into it, it's like hours and I cannot stop. So,
well, maybe technically I am because I do use AI.
So you probably are. All right. Well, thank you so much. Dennis?
James forgot to tell his funny story requested.
Well, now he put you on the spot, James. Anything funny?
Maybe he did that. Maybe he did that on purpose, so he will have time to remember one while I'll be presenting myself. Hi everyone, I'm Dennis. I'm the co-founder and general partner at Fuelarts. Fuelarts is all things creative tech We have a dedicated creative tech accelerator for our startups. We have a small venture arm that helps us to invest not only in our graduates, in our best graduates, but also in those whom we consider to be the new winners in Web3 space. And also we have an analytic department which publishes twice a year. We publish creative tech reports on global cumulative investments into Web3 and Web2 creative tech startups. So we are like 3 in 1, and my journey with blockchain started in 2017 with your help, Elena, because I remember that brilliant sessions where no one exactly understood what was going on. I mean, the new art academy based in New York. So the founders of OpenSea, Super Rare, CryptoPunks, we all were like starting from the very beginning, and you just provided us the space to talk, to discuss once a week. That was brilliant, and one of my funny stories is connected with it. So you've mentioned Christmas. I remember the Christmas party, the New Year party organized by New Art Academy in 2017, where I was playing table tennis with Matt Hall, the co-founder of CryptoPunks. So, and that was the last time I was playing table tennis. So I'd like, if Matt is watching us, I'd like to play with you again, like 6 years after, to summarize all the findings that we have found in the blockchain and Web3 evolution since that. So yeah, and also as an accelerator, a year ago we made a batch for Tezos. We helped Tezos to help them grow in their Web3 adoption in art. We educated 10 startups for their ecosystem. So now I believe it's a great opportunity to, and we'll be happy to start collaborating with Polkadot, with you, James, thanks to your help, because the Polkadot blockchain ecosystem has a lot of Web3 startups in creative tech space, and you have a great community, you have great regulation, and yeah, we'll be happy to join our efforts.
Amazing. What a nice story. Yeah, it's nice to remember holiday parties from years back. Yeah, and I hope Matt is watching us or will be watching us, and we'll play table tennis together again very soon. All right. But maybe now let's go into art and blockchain. So there are some very obvious use cases for blockchain in the art world, like tracking provenance, making purchases more simple, and other, I guess, important use cases, especially for digital art, but also for traditional art as well. But I wanted to ask both of you, what is your vision for art and blockchain? How do you see them intersect most? How does this intersection help both artists and companies that are in the space? Maybe if you both can elaborate on that, that would be great.
Sure. I can jump in first. So I think blockchain technology has the potential to revolutionize the art world in several exciting and accessible ways. And these are all blockchain agnostic. These apply to blockchain in general. I think Polkadot is strong in many, if not all of these, but let's just keep it at the generic level first. And I'm going to go through maybe 5 or 6 points, and I'm sure, Dennis, you probably have more to add in, some of which, Elena, you've already mentioned. But just running through the list, in my mind, provenance and authenticity are the first one that comes to mind, right? Because blockchain provides a secure and immutable record of the history of the artworks. Each transaction or transfer of ownership can be recorded on the blockchain, right? It enhances transparency and trust in the art market, and it helps in verifying authenticity and provenance, reducing the risk of buying counterfeit art. Second point would be democratization of art investment. And traditionally, I think investing in art has been accessible mostly to the wealthy. Blockchain introduces the concept of fractional ownership, where multiple people can own shares of an artwork, making investment in high value art accessible to a broader audience. It also allows more people to benefit from the appreciation of art values. I think digital art and NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, right? Blockchain's the backbone of the NFT market. It's providing a platform for digital artists to monetize their work. Digital art, which can or often has been overlooked in traditional markets, can now be uniquely owned and traded like physical art. And it's opened up new markets and revenue streams for digital artists. Next point would be royalties and resale rights. So smart contracts on the blockchain can automate royalty payments. Whenever an artwork is resold, the original artist can receive a percentage of the sale price. It ensures artists can earn from their works throughout their lifetime. An additional point would be global accessibility. I think blockchain platforms can connect artists directly with buyers across the globe without the need for intermediaries like galleries or auction houses. It reduces fees and barriers to entry for new artists and collectors, and it makes the art market more inclusive. Another point would be enhanced interaction or engagement, where I think blockchain can enable new forms of interaction with art through things like augmented reality, virtual reality. Collectors might view a digital artwork in a virtual gallery or experience art in an immersive environment. And I think that enhances the way art is consumed and experienced. I think another thing that blockchain allows is curating decentralized exhibitions, where artists and curators can use blockchain to organize a decentralized art exhibition, where the selection of artworks and the rules for engagement, they're all governed by the community voting, ensuring a democratic and transparent curation process. Just overall, I think blockchain it's ready to make the art world more inclusive, more transparent, more innovative, and opening up new economic opportunities for artists and collectors alike.
Thank you so much. That's such an extensive answer. I think you pretty much covered most of it. I don't know, Dennis, if you have something to add. I'm sure you can.
I'm pretty sure James was joking, saying that, yeah, like I will enumerate some of them, and Dennis will for sure will have something to add. Actually, you have enumerated all the spheres. I mean, the potential of blockchain is still like much more than than any list that we could provide right now. But what I should concentrate on, I will use this speaking opportunity to say that, to raise a question. So James has enumerated almost all the spheres where blockchain could help art. And of course, once once the humanity, the society has the new cycle of bull market of cryptocurrency, the question with blockchain raises again, and it becomes hypey. And as we know, there are a lot of speculations. There have been always a lot of speculations about any hypey asset. So the question that I want to raise now is: are we ready for the next generation, the next expansion of blockchain into our life? In other words, James has enumerated a lot of really evolutionary. James used the word revolution. I tend to think blockchain is the evolution than a revolution. We can argue on that, because it's all I mean, all the developments should be done in a natural way. But the question is, do the collectors, does the art market really need that? I mean, does the art market really need transparency? Does the art market really need the absence of intermediaries, of the third parties? Because a lot of startups, they look at the reports like Deloitte Art and Finance report, Hiscox reports, Fuelarts reports, where all the collectors, where all the top persons of the art world, they indicate transparency as the main need, as the main, I mean, the need for transparency as the main of the art market. So what those startups do next? They just throw all of their investment, all of their money. They convince their investors to create the startups that facilitate, that penetrate transparency, that grow transparency. Then they come to those collectors as their probable business angels, or their first like early adopters of their product. And what they hear from that, let us think if we still need that product. If the market needs, oh, it's too transparent, the art market doesn't need that. So there should be a balance. There should be a balance between the level of transparency where, like, which could be accepted by the art market, the collectors, the artists, and so on, all the functionaries of the art market, and the level of transparency that blockchain could provide. And we at Fuelarts, like every second startup, faces with this problem that their blockchain solutions are too transparent. I believe we should start with educating the art market why transparency is great, than trying to convince them that blockchain is the solution for their current need. But when art market will recognize transparency as the best value, when the art market starts earning more money being transparent than earning like less. So that's my thesis of this question. And of course, a short remark. Starting from 2016, and my personal acquaintance with blockchain was back in 2016. I just read I met a book online which was titled "Artist Rethinking the Blockchain," and I asked myself, and prior to that, I had been researching the art market for 8 years, and I asked myself, what did I miss? What did I miss? So there was some strange blockchain, and artists have already they had already thought about it. So now they are rethinking the blockchain. And yeah, that was Juliana whom I contacted with asking what is blockchain. Let's discover that together. So and after 2016, I was asked for a number of times by the representatives of Web2 art market, could you please explain what blockchain is, like what is in relation to the art world, or could you find an example? And I couldn't find it for many years. Now I have the example. Blockchain in relation to the art world is like an art fair, like an Art Basel. Art Basel doesn't sell, it provides the premises. Art Basel doesn't need any kind of advertising. It has the brand. It's already branded. Everyone wants to reach to there. Everyone wants to get to Art Basel. So Art Basel provides the ecosystem where galleries are selling up to 50% of their annual turnover of art sales. So I would compare blockchain to the ecosystem around art, history, trade, management, analytics, production. actually we have only 4 links of the value chain: production, trade management, and analytics. I would add their art history. So, and the most essential thing I'd like to finish my short speech with is at present. Blockchain is the potential blockchain is used, according to our estimates, only on like 20 to 25% from its original potential. So it's used as a storage. It's used as a for making records, secure storage, but and of course transactions. But that's just the beginning level of all the fun that the art world can bring to the collectors.
Thank you, Dennis. Yeah, I like your actual comparison to Art Basel and to the infrastructure that blockchain provides to the art market in general. To me, one of the issues with the mass adoption of the blockchain technology for the traditional art world or for the art world is actually the ease of use, right? So right now, the blockchain products are really, still lacking, I think, usability and simplicity for the majority of the art players or art collectors to use and enjoy. I guess it also depends on blockchain. I don't know, James, maybe you can just say a couple of words how Polkadot is approaching how easy it is to use the products that are on Polkadot. So maybe there is more potential for the more art market players adoption there. Just came to mind after what Dennis said.
Sure. No, I mean, I'll talk about Polkadot here in just a moment, but I think just a general response to Dennis's comments is I would agree that in general, like blockchain is just a tool, and it's not going to completely blow up or destroy or radicalize the art market in general. I think it's a tool that can be used to help drive the creative art space and grow that even larger. And that would be my intent of how to incorporate that technology. It's one tool in a toolkit that we're all using collectively to try to grow. I think in general, the user experience, specifically in art, but more broadly in cryptocurrency or blockchain in general, it's not a great experience, right? It's better now than it was a couple of years ago, but there's still a long way to go. I think if you talk to anybody in blockchain in general, I think they will still say it's very early days. When I talk to normal everyday people on the street, most people have no idea what Polkadot is or what even blockchain is. And I welcome those kinds of conversations, but it all starts with education, as Dennis said. And I think that the general population and including the artist community, a lot of education needs to take place going forward in order to bring everybody up to speed. And then there needs to be additional improvements on the technology side to make that user experience much easier and seamless and less confusing to the average everyday user. Talking specifically about Polkadot, I think Polkadot has made, I believe, significant contributions to the intersection of art and technology through the blockchain features within Polkadot itself. Specifically, we facilitate greater scalability, interoperability, and security. You'll hear me use those words frequently in many of the talks that I give around Polkadot. Diving into each briefly. So interoperability, like one of Polkadot's core features is the ability to connect to different blockchains. And that allows for seamless communication and data exchange between different networks, including those focused on art, such as NFT platforms, galleries, and digital asset registries. And the connectivity enables artists and collectors to interact with multiple blockchain ecosystems without being restricted to a single platform. For scalability, our multi-chain architecture using what we call parachains or rollups or whatever term allows different projects to connect to what we call a central relay chain. And that central relay chain provides the highest levels of scalability. That way, if we have a client that has extremely large volumes of transactions, we can scale up or scale down. Like during a high-profile NFT drop or a digital art auction, we can scale up without suffering from network congestion or high transaction fees. Polkadot is built on something called Substrate, which is a development framework or language, and that allows for extremely customized blockchains tailored to specific needs. And that's allowed creators or other tech entrepreneurs in the art world to design blockchains that specifically address their unique requirements, whether it's enhancing digital rights management or creating unique artist-centric platforms, or just innovative new ways to display and sell art. A particular strength with Polkadot would be our decentralized governance. So Polkadot encourages a community-driven governance model, which I believe is also appealing to the art community, where decentralization and democratization are increasingly valued. That model also allows stakeholders, like artists and collectors, to have a say in the future development of the network, ensuring that it evolves in a way that benefits its diverse user base. Another strength of Polkadot is our security and our reliability. We have something called a shared security model, and it offers strong protection against attacks, making it a very secure platform for high-value transaction and investments in the art market. And then in general, we enable what we call art DAOs, or decentralized autonomous organizations. So Polkadot facilitates the creation of these DAOs, which can be particularly impactful in the art community, because art DAOs can manage collections or fund artists, curate exhibits, make collective decisions about acquisitions, and they're all governed by smart contracts on the blockchain. So I think that with all of that, Polkadot's not just a passive infrastructure provider, but rather an active enabler of innovation, making art more accessible and profitable and dynamic for both creators and enthusiasts alike.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, James. No, that sounds super important, and I think we do need more chains where which are easy to operate, basically. So that's great. So Dennis, I wanted now to ask you, so you work with a lot of startups and you have a vast experience of working with different companies in art and tech. Maybe you can share one or two examples that you're particularly excited about, and this can be an example of a company that you particularly accelerated or worked with, or any other company. And then I'll ask James the same, if you can think of a company that you're excited about. But I'd like to start with Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you, Lena, for this question. So actually, I'll compare two companies. They are both from the AI sphere, but one are our graduates. The second one are a bit more famous. Let's start with the second one. So one of the biggest surprises on the creative tech startups market last year and continued to be this year was the Midjourney, the most successful creative tech AI startup ever. It's hard to believe, but they have received zero external investment so far, because they started gaining a lot of audience and they became self-sustainable using only their bootstrap funds. I mean, the funds from, like, we know, 3F, friends, family, fools. But as far as I know, there were only friends there, so only one F was used. But now, in October, they had almost 22 million of regular users a month. So they are self-sustainable and they reject. There are a lot of investors. Everyone wants to tap into Midjourney. Everyone wants to have a slice of that very tasty investment pie, which is called Midjourney. They are rejecting all the proposals. As far as we know, they are just expected. They are expecting for the a very big M&A deal in the next years to be sold for like 50 billion to one of the top AI engines. We know them, we can enumerate them, but there is no need. Everyone knows Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, Apple, and Amazon, and Grok by Tesla. So we're expecting a big M&A deal with Midjourney, but their example is can be and should be studied. Should result in a book, how to bootstrap till M&A. So that's a very nice experience. And the other platform, our graduates, they're called Phygital Plus. They were part of the thesis batch. So they became our full-fledged partners in creating our annual reports. So our designer uses their their tech tools to create the reports. They have already received trust and support from Microsoft. So Microsoft should buy them quite soon. But at the same time, I've just enumerated two startups. One, a big AI. Second, a bit smaller. But we're proud to have graduates at Fuelarts who attract the attention of Microsoft, and not only Microsoft.
Wow, this is amazing. Yeah, I'd love to test it out. Your reports always look very beautiful, Dennis. So I need to try the tool. I would like to try the tool.
Yeah, but you should also you should try the tool. But the reports are beautiful, not only thanks to Phygital Plus, but also half of its success is our designer Alexei Kohanov from Kiev, Ukraine. So and he's a genius. But he's a genius with Phygital Plus tool.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much. So focus on AI and on the creative tools from Dennis. James, how about you? What are your most exciting examples?
So for me, I mean, all three of us were just in Miami recently for Art Basel and the Miami Art Week. And I think from my perspective, being able to work with teams like Fuelarts and you, Elena, and BitBasel, we all were exposed to many, many different exciting projects and updates from the art world throughout that week. The project that I think I want to mention today would be something that just got announced about a week ago within the Polkadot ecosystem. So there's a good chance nobody here has heard of it. So anybody listening live or perhaps watching this recording later, I want to talk about something called the NFT Mosaic. I'll drop a link into social media after the call is over, but it's like it sounds, NFTMOZAIC.com. And that is an initiative that was funded by a grant from the W3 Foundation. And they are attempting to redefine the NFT landscape by consolidating and standardizing a core protocol within the Polkadot ecosystem. So it's going to incentivize dApp developers to join the space and take advantage of all of Polkadot's unique strengths. And they're not only playing a part in the adoption of NFTs on Polkadot by both end users and developers, but really it's around evolving the narrative and moving the needs of NFT developers forward, where we're trying to position Polkadot squarely at the front of fundamental conversations around the evolution of NFTs, developments, and initiatives. So again, if you're listening, go to that website, nftmosaic.com. Whether you're building on Polkadot or not today, wherever you're building, the NFT Mosaic team wants to hear from you, because this is really just getting started. But I've talked to the team there, and it's pretty exciting because they're really building out this tool set of new functionality that's going to work on any project that builds on Polkadot, and it will be it'll be usable across the entire ecosystem. So whatever you build, we'll be able to talk to other projects as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's super interesting. Dennis, yes?
Yes, I'd like to add one thing, and James reminded me about it, talking about NFT Mosaic. The most exciting thing I personally found inside the Polkadot startups ecosystem is that, for instance, all the NFT marketplaces, around 20, existing at the moment, you won't believe, they are communicating with each other. Yes, they are trusting each other, they are supporting each other, they're exchanging opinions, they're exchanging tech stuff, they're exchanging latest findings in the NFT sphere. I can't say that I haven't seen that on different other blockchains, but the level of engagement, and there is even like a bigger project called the Unique Network, which unites all the marketplaces, starting from education to helping them to evolve. So the level of cross startup communication and support and trust at Polkadot is really amazing. That's what I personally like. And by the way, in our next 2025 our tech startups report, there will be a section devoted to Polkadot to describe their ecosystem. And yeah, that's our initiative from Fuelarts. So sorry, James, no one from Polkadot can tell us what to do, but yeah, but that will be our barbarian view.
That's super cool. Just following up on both of these thoughts from both of you. Since the topic is art and blockchain, I'm sure there are quite a few artists that are watching us or that are gonna watch us. And there is always a question that I receive from the artist is, well, there are a lot of questions, but how can I move on with my career? With NFTs, how blockchain, can actually help me to develop my career. Maybe there are some examples of startups that you worked with that you think are suitable for the emerging digital artists, or just ideas, anything, any advice that you can give to the artists in the art and blockchain space.
Let me start, please.
Sure.
First of all, I start with the negative news. Yes, dear artist, there is negative news for you. Blockchain is not Salvador Mundi, is not the saver of your careers. So once you put your artwork on blockchain, as many think, it won't be automatically sold. It won't be automatically sold if you cover it with the NFT legal or technical coverage. These are fairy tales. What you should concentrate on is still its actual, since the beginning of the art history, is your own uniqueness, your own education, and your own contribution to the history of the art world. So, in other words, you should concentrate on being as professional as you only can, and think from the very beginning about your predecessors from the Web2 world, like from the history of art, because for the next generation of collectors, which are knocking in the doors of the art market. I mean, not even Gen Z, but Gen Alpha, starting from 12, 13 years, who are starting having access to the money, and who are starting actively collecting. They understand more and more the value of the links between the art history and digital art. So education is key, and like focusing on your academic achievements is key. At the same time, there are several peculiarities connected with digital art. When I said contribution to the art world, to the history of art, for a digital artist, there should be two kind of contributions. First, he or she should contribute to the history of art. Secondly, the same person should contribute to the community of collectors, so-called utilities. So while making an artwork, think from the very beginning, what kind of utility, what kind of additional value can you add to your artwork, like putting the provenance there, putting the history of creation of the artwork filmed, including your achievements, um, putting the regular updates with the news from you as an artist, or update with the price indices that you could calculate yourself. Think of how to establish like VIP, the analog of VIP cards for art fairs, but for your collectors, what you could provide them, like invitations to your exhibitions, private collectors parties, discounts on the new series of artworks, art master classes. You can give art master classes. So think of your artwork as the asset with the loyalty program, with the VIP card of loyalty program. In Web 2, it's called loyalty program. In Web 3, it's called utilities. Yes, and and invite collectors to your workshop, to your studio. Yes, and provide them with as much connections with the physical world as possible, because digital collectors are missing the physical world, and you should be there, your connector with that. Make it digital. Make your works digital. That's it.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
So many good advice. James, how about you?
I echo a lot of what Dennis already said. I'm going to reiterate and just say that, think about blockchain just as a tool. It's not the defining thing. It's just a tool in your arsenal that you can use as an artist to grow your businesses. I won't speak to the artists themselves because Dennis and BitBasel are much closer to that than I am. What I will say is I believe it all starts with education, right? This is a new world for many of us, and we all need to sort of skill up to understand what it is we're working with. Organizations like Fuelarts and BitBasel do an amazing job of talking to artists and galleries and curators around establishing that baseline education. Polkadot is huge on education, and so we have a lot of education initiatives within the ecosystem that help with that front, but it really starts with education. But when I think about sort of the intersection of art and blockchain, and I try to think about either trends or areas of innovation, some of the things that I think about in no particular order are sustainability. So as environmental concerns continue to grow, one trend or a shift that could be happening, and I think is happening, is towards more sustainable blockchain technologies. So I think artists and platforms are increasingly looking at ways to minimize their own carbon footprint. And that includes moving towards more energy efficient consensus mechanisms like proof of stake or hybrid models, which could help mitigate the environmental impact of blockchain-based arts, particularly NFTs. I mean, Polkadot's very strong on the energy carbon footprint sector, but I won't go into that right now. The interoperability that I already talked about, right? So with the rise of multiple blockchains specializing in art and NFTs, interoperability will become crucial. So I think the ability for different blockchains to interact seamlessly will enable artists to more easily sell and showcase their works across different platforms. We've touched on augmented and virtual reality integrations, but that's just going to create more immersive art experiences that are more interactive and more engaging. So I can see virtual art galleries and exhibitions becoming more and more popular. We talked about fractional ownership. I think that's important. I think regulatory clarity and evolution is also more important. I think more clear regulations can only encourage more artists and investors to participate if they know their rights and their obligations. We touched on AI and using AI integration for art creation and curation. And that's a super interesting area for me that I'm sure we could talk about forever. And then lastly, just the smart contracts that I already talked about, just using smart contracts for artists' rights and the royalties, and the development of those contracts that can automatically execute these transfers will benefit them financially throughout the life cycle of the artwork.
Absolutely. No, well, great points. Love it. Yes, Dennis?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Thank you, James. Your inspiring talk reminded me that I forgot to share one tip with the artists. So a lot of artists, contemporary young artists, they suffer that the quantity, like the funnel of their fans, of their subscribers, doesn't result that much into the quantity of their clients, of those who buy the art. Please don't worry. Your community is your asset. Just take your community and bring it to brands. Adidas, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, whatever. Fashion brands, sport brands, music brands, TV, they all need end users. So those who do not buy your artworks, but who are fond of your art, your subscribers, are your asset already. These are the end users, the possible end users of brands. So come to the brands with those end users and propose them collaboration between you and your art and their brands. Of course, before that, please spend some time on studying the brand values to match their expectations. But again, those who are not buying your art, but only pressing likes, you could already take advantage on them. They are your assets as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So we're approaching 1 hour of ORE. It went by super fast. Before we end, since again, it's a holiday season and we all anticipate 2025, I think we also anticipate the holiday break a little bit, but since we are at the end of 2024 and are about to start 2025, can each of you tell me and tell our audience 1 or 2 things that you're particularly excited about for 2025? Something that makes you want the 2025 to start ASAP.
For me, it's just a continuation and an expansion of these kinds of conversations, right? We Polkadot love the creative art spaces. We have the luxury of having relationships with LiveArt and Fuelarts and BitBasel and many other organizations in this space. I'm completely bullish and comfortable with the technology that Polkadot brings to the picture, but we can't do it on our own. We are just the software. So we rely and need the art community, not only the artists themselves, but the galleries and everybody else involved in that system, and welcome those conversations to see what we can collectively build together to move this forward. So I'm very excited for 2025 and what that means for all of us.
Awesome. Dennis?
Well, thank you. That's a great question to make a small recap before Christmas. Actually, Fuelarts started collaborating with the Zurich University of Arts and Zurich Center for Creative Economies as part of that university in 2024, which has resulted in the release of the specific Swiss Creative Tech Report. And starting from 2025, we're starting implementing our education program for creative entrepreneurs there. To put it short, we teach art students tech, we teach tech students art, and we teach both of them the basis of entrepreneurship. And then just to increase the survival level from the idea to the prototype stage. I mean, while they are sitting at their desks as students, that's a part of our mission. So it will be full. 2025 will be full of education work with the like early stage groups, entrepreneurs, hopefully with startups as well. And also Fuelarts is about to enter the new market, the Polish market, with the Polish report, and collaboration with one very interesting, innovative Polish university. And also we have we have already entered the African creative tech market, starting with 5 countries, and we are about to expand that. I don't know how we'll manage to do that, all that throughout 1 year, but yeah, it's always interesting to see how we manage to do that.
Sounds extremely exciting. Yeah, for both of you, sounds great. At LiveArt, I might add, I want to add that we continue working with world top artists. So we'll be announcing new drops soon. We've recently launched meme drops, so you're going to see more of that as well. More RWA projects like the Warhol charts that you've all seen recently, and a lot of new digital artists coming to the space, working on different campaigns. So excited to see all of that and more, really. And education, for sure, is super important for us. We have games on Telegram that are actually focused on art education, but I'm super passionate about art education as well, and we'll continue doing this kind of conversation. So we have a long list for 2025. Very excited about it. Yeah, and for now, still in 2024, excited about our Mark Wins drop tomorrow. So please watch out for that. That's going to be fun and a lot more. So I would like to thank both of you for joining me here today. What a great conversation. It's really nice to end the year with so many insights for both technologists and artists and all of us in this space who are very curious about what's going on in the space, wanted to develop as fast as possible and to grow and to contribute. So I think we should have many more discussions like that.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you, first of all, for acknowledging us, me and James, as the headliners. As soon as you said yourself that you have prepared someone essential and very like a big fish for the end of the year. Yeah, we are representing the companies who are not yet sending the Christmas postcards, but still have what to do. Besides that, and the only thing I wanted to add is, yeah, regarding 2025, I believe that 3 of us plus the BitBasel team who were announced as the fourth guest of today's podcast. Unfortunately, they had some logistic issues that prevented them from being online. But I believe that 3 or 4 of us should do something together, and let's set up this goal for 2025.
That's amazing. I'd love to.
Yeah, Elena, I just also want to thank you for inviting me to this X Space today, and thank you very much for allowing me to participate. I think the takeaway from Polkadot is we just want to make art more accessible, interactive, and beneficial for artists and collectors alike. And if anybody listening or watching back later, if anybody has any questions for me, please, by all means, reach out to me. I would love to talk further. You can find me on Twitter or through Elena or Dennis, and let's keep the conversation going.
Super. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining, and see you all soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.